This is Bruce Soord
and Gavin Harrison
from The Pineapple Thief, and you are watching Stormbringer,
the Austrian heavy zine.
Dissolution, the 12th album. What did you think? Like, wow, 12 album already? Is it that what you expected? Like when you started out?
Well, no. I think when I started in 1999, it was really just me on my own. Yeah, and I didn't think it would be another. You're right. Another 12 albums, another nearly 20 years. So no. It's and for it to be sort of just kind of such a new sort of direction and sound for us as well after so long. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
So with the album before that, Wilderness album, you brought this guy in as a session drummer, basically. What was it when you came into the band first? I mean, you knew Bruce from before, but was it basically just session work for you, or did you expect more of it?
No, I didn't know Bruce before. I mean,
you didn't?
No. I'd heard of the band because we're on the same label on K-Scope. And they contacted me and asked me if I would like to play on the record. So I liked the music, so I did it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. So it was basically his wish to bring him in. I read an interview from like 2 years ago, and he said you hope he will stay in the band.
Well, yes. Yeah. I mean, no, it was. Because we didn't know whether Gavin would like it or want to do it. So it was just a case of just send some stuff and see what would happen. So it was one of those things. And but yeah, obviously it all worked out really well.
But I wondered that you two didn't know each other because was it Steve Wilson who recommended you to K-Scope, right?
K-Scope, yeah, back in 2006 that was. Yeah. So but no, the paths never crossed.
Mm-hmm. But is it something that feels becoming full circle, something natural progress?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you develop a relationship with people, musically as well as personally, and it feels like a natural sort of progression.
Mm-hmm. What is the main difference which came in with Gavin into the band?
Well, I mean it's I think before, and in the early days it was me with break beats and sample CDs. In the early days the drums were very much just there to keep a beat going. That was really all it did, and it was a case of, especially in rock music, it was just a very sort of simple thing that was there just to keep everybody bouncing along, and there didn't really contribute creatively, artistically to the music. It wasn't certainly wasn't musical as an instrument. So yeah,
you as a solo artist.
As a solo artist, and then we had a few two other drummers, but it just wasn't. It's not on the same sort of. It's just not comparable really at all. So.
I mean, yeah, he's really an outstanding drummer, and on the other hand, he's really busy as well. So can we imagine you meeting in a rehearsal room, just practicing all at the same time? Or is it just sending files back and forth?
Well, it was sending files back and forth. Unfortunately, Bruce lives about 3 hours away from me. But as near as it could be, it felt like we were having a virtual jam, in that even in the same day we would swap files maybe 2 or 3 times and develop ideas. But it's good to have time. Sometimes when you're in a rehearsal room, you don't have enough time to really listen and consider what you're doing. I think that's something that is really important, that you need to listen and consider. When you're just playing, you're acting on a very sort of basic level. Mm-hmm. And this kind of music, I think, needs consideration, and reflection to make you really find the best path for the design of the music.
So you have to take your time before to listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thoroughly.
Yeah. I like to play and listen, and then maybe the next day I listen and new ideas come to me. and with amongst that, sending it to Bruce, and Bruce adapting what he's done and creating new things and sending them back to me, and me reacting to what Bruce has done and changing things. So it was a sort of passing it backwards and forwards feeling.
Mm-hmm. Dissolution, the 12th album, the lyrical concept is from you, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I remember when we because by the time we got to Dissolution as a band, especially with Gavin being on board, we all kind of knew each other, and we all knew what we were going to do together. We all knew we were going to sit down and write a record together, as opposed to Your Wilderness, which was different. And but we didn't really have any preconceptions. Nobody says it's got to sound like this or that, and there wasn't really a concept. But it was when I started putting the lyrics together that I realised that there was this underlying theme, like the whole connectivity thing, the social media, the world that we've lived through for the last sort of couple of years. It's been really quite strange, and the backlash there has been to certain, and how I've seen it affect my friends and family, and how it can be weaponized as well. It's everybody knows about it, and that was the underlying theme that was bubbling through the lyrics throughout the record. So there was probably as close as to a concept as I've ever had, lyrically.
But it's all about relationships and new media and everything like that, and paranoia as well, right?
Exactly. So it's all about relationships, but with that little extra angle that we haven't really had to deal with before as humans. It's hard enough as it is without having this new super connected world that we live in. Yeah.
So is there any kind of paranoias you fear personally in your own life, like I don't know, going on stage fright or something like that?
No.
Fans?
No, we were talking about
not really.
No.
We were talking about that the other day about whether you have stage. In the early days of my career, I used to get terrible stage fright, and I used to drink my way through it because it was like, I just can't go on stage, and a lot of that was to do with the fact that the band wasn't. You didn't know whether the band was going to be good enough that night. But like Gavin was saying, it just doesn't make any sense to have stage fright, because you go on and you play your stuff, and that's what you do. And if for some, hasn't happened yet, but if you get people don't like it, then well, so what? You've played what you do, and if people don't like it, having stage fright or nerves isn't going to change anything. So obviously easier said than done, because if you have got stage fright, it's a horrible thing. But no, I mean, I don't get it anymore, and I certainly don't drink before we play. That was there are
many people out there that do. I heard.
Never. Pardon?
I heard there are many people out there they do drink before they go on stage.
Yeah. And like I said, I used to do it, and. It doesn't help. Gavin's laughing.
I love it.
I'm a good boy.
Yeah.
No, I don't drink.
No.
I didn't suppose to. But you played with so many bands. Are there still ideas coming out of your head, or have you just think hard which drum beat you lay over some certain melody or something like that? I mean, you play with basically every style that is throughout your career, right?
Mm. No, I think it's a question of finding people that inspire you, and it gets smaller and smaller, the list of people who send you songs and you feel inspired to want to play, and you have good ideas. And Bruce was, an exception. I've done a lot of session work, and sometimes people send you things, and as soon as you press play, you can have good ideas. And I felt that when Bruce sent me the songs for Your Wilderness, it felt open and inspiring to play. So that's what I try to look for. If I just keep doing the same type of thing all the time, then you feel like you're in a box and you can't come out.
Yeah. But other than that, you have a distinctive style, which at least I can spot out from other drummer styles. You played, the last time I saw you was with King Crimson, which is a totally different world to play. This is very progressive and very, not to say you can improve very much. in the Pineapple Thief, is it more about the song? Is it the song itself that counts, right? It's not how many beats to play or many abstract rhythms you play. It's to work with the song, right?
Yeah, it's always about working with a song, whether it's King Crimson or anyone. I play what I think is the right thing for the song, and I suppose my personality comes through that. The things I choose to play, the sound that I have, it's your personality. You know, it just comes through in everything you do.
Mm. Now, you're a British band, and for me, you sound very British as well. I mean, as a listener, maybe not for you as a band. But do you think that's important for the Pineapple Thief? To be from England and not from, say, Italy, America? They would sound different or something?
No, I don't know. I speak to people, you know, like how difficult it is if you're an Italian band to break through in Europe and in the UK. And I think for some reason that is the UK bands are also able to succeed in Europe, you know, Germany and France and the Netherlands and Italy, like, you know, luckily we do. I don't know if that's a British thing. I don't consciously play on the British angle at all.
Maybe it's a prog rock thing. Like I was thinking an IQ or Arena or Haken or something.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, when I was growing up, there was that's the sort of the neo prog sort of world. You know, the Pendragons and the Arenas and the IQs, and that was certainly not what the kind of music I wanted to do. I wanted to do just melodic rock music, but I was influenced by 70s bands, you know, Pink Floyd and Supertramp, the more melodic side of the almost classic rock bands, you know, and that's why instrumentally I really like, you know, the fact that you've got acoustic drums, bass, guitars, Fender Rhodes, piano, that kind of instrumentation, which I see some people saying, oh, that makes you vintage. Well, it doesn't to me. It just makes it like...
It's a very flexible term these days.
Yeah, exactly. You're just a rock band. We're just a rock band, really, yeah.
Do you think, other than the old bands you were listening to in the past, is it in England, is it the landscape or the weather as well that influences the music or the style that people play?
I've no idea. I mean, I'm British, so if I sound British, what can I do?
I mean, within the band, not as a drummer.
Oh, within the band. I don't know. I mean, I take inspiration from all sorts of things, not so much connected to music. I don't really like genres because it's a sort of fence. It's a private club. People get very snobbish about a genre and the sub-genres that are in there. It's all just music to me. I mean, a genre is a fantastic excuse for somebody to ignore your life's work, right? When they say, oh, you're prog. Yes, I hate prog, so I will hate you. You know what I mean? And I know, you know, even in the metal scene, there's so many sub-genres in the metal scene, and they hate each other. Music's just music to me. And
I mean, the journalists graded them.
Well,
I think
other people put you in a slot. You know, they say you're prog or you're rock or any of those things. But to me, it's just all music. And as you can see, I've played jazz and I've played, you know, all kinds of music in different situations. And I don't feel any different if I'm playing in a jazz group or a heavy metal group or in what people call progressive group. It's all just the same thing to me. Music is just music.
But which label do you feel most comfortable in? Like the music Pineapple Thief is doing, or
just good music?
Yeah.
There's just
have to feel it.
There's two. To me, there's two categories: good music and bad music, according to me, to my taste. And I just want to make sure that I'm in the good music part and leave the bad music behind.
What about you? What about labels? Do you like them or just...
No, I probably agree with Gavin. I know that as a journalist and as a someone who's seeking out new music, you probably do need a label. You know, you do need to have a bit of an idea as to what it is. But it's certainly, you know, if you look at the progressive rock scene, I mean, there's such a broad and wide thing that you couldn't lump us in with some of the acts, and we certainly wouldn't want to be lumped in with a lot of the acts that are in the scene. And to me, it's just, when I'm writing music, it's like Gavin says, it's just music. I we're certainly a rock band. I'd say that. But when you go into like all these subgenres, then it gets a little bit messy, and you think, well, we're not that, And but so it's tricky. It is tricky, and so I'm not ashamed of my progressive rock influences as a kid. That when I was growing up, but I listened to an awful lot of other kinds of music as well. So it's always an awkward thing.
Yeah. But so it evolves from a solo artist basically to a full band. Does it feel natural way that it happens that way?
Well, it's certainly never contrived. No, I mean I came out of my bedroom, and then this, I did some really early gigs. Got my mates to form a band, and it was probably about as ropey as it sounds. When we didn't really rehearse enough, but it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was always really quite motivated and focused in the studio. But live, it was always quite hard, and so it was always very natural, very natural. But I remember after we finished Magnolia, we didn't have the drummer we were drumming with left, and that was a real turning point, because we were actually thinking, well, should we just hang our boots up, or should we carry on? And that's when Gavin came in. So that was really like a new era for the band. Yeah.
I hope you guys will do a 13th album as well together, of course.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
now the 12th one is, of course, it's the actual one.
We finished, even though the album's only just come out for people to listen to it. We finished it in April or so earlier this year. Yeah. So we've had time to relax and think about things, and so we're now sort of talking about where do we go next, and when we're going to start, and. So it's a nice place to be in when you're really comfortable around each other, and you know that it works, the writing process. So
the thoughts are still on the 12th album, of course, because you're touring for it.
Well, yes.
Or is it just?
It's just part of the set now. Yeah. It's just with all the other songs. So as a creative person, you're now thinking about, right, what am I going to do next?
Yeah, cool. What's your next project besides the Pineapple Thief? Anything planned out?
After the tour finishes, 2 weeks after the tour finishes, I start rehearsals with King Crimson again, and then we will tour from the end of October right up until Christmas. We're going all around the UK, and then we're doing 3 shows in Paris, and then we're doing about 4 or 5 weeks in Japan.
The shows are still presented with featuring Gavin Harrison, so it seems for the outside people, maybe it seems you're still not a band member or something. It's just a guest.
Yeah, I mean we did that on the first tour. I wasn't a member of the band. Now I'm a member of the band. The problem is people keep writing questions to us on Facebook. Will Gavin be on the tour? Will Gavin be coming on the tour? Because they're not sure. We have announced that I've joined the band. But for safety reasons, so people don't keep. Oh, I didn't know Gavin was there. Oh, is he going to be there? So this
people
clears it up.
He's going to be here and there.
I will be there. Yeah, I'll definitely be there.
So watch out for the guys. I say thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Gavin.
Thank you very much.
Watch out. Pineapple Thief, Dissolution, new album. It's out there.